Couple of historians and filmmakers are with us today. We're delighted to have Ben Appleby and Antonella Previti with us. Just arrived from across the pond, right?
That's right.
When did you arrive locally or this side of the ocean?
Last night.
Last night, okay. All right, so how long have you been making films and doing historical research?
I think roughly 15 years, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, the topic today is the Lost Mountaineers, the documentary. When did it come out?
It's still doing film festivals at the moment. So we're having a special screening tomorrow at the Fort Drum base for the soldiers there. And then after that, we are showing it to some different families connected to this story. So we'll be off to Madison, Wisconsin on the 26th. And then in South Carolina on the 29th, the 28th, and the 1st of August, all connected to families connected to this story.
Okay.
So it came out actually in his Italian version. It was presented for the first time at the festival, the Rum Festival it's called. It was October 2023, and the English American version was presented last year at the Fort Smith International Film Festival.
Okay, so this is the story about 25, actually there were, 25 10th Mountain Division soldiers, 1945, tail end of World War II.
Exactly.
They're crossing Lake Garda in northern Italy.
Exactly.
And the weather's not good, right?
Yeah.
And the boat is what we call a duck boat.
Yes.
Which stands for what?
It's an acronym. It's an amphibious. It was like an American truck, which was transformed into an amphibious vehicle, and it was crossing the northern part of Lake Garda from the town of Torbole, and the objective was to take the town of Riva del Garda.
Mm-hmm. And the boat went down.
Yeah, the motor cut out.
25 out of 26 aboard were lost.
Yeah,
Yes.
And have been ever since.
the only survivor was Thomas Hugh, and he was a YMCA lifeguard before the war.
Yeah. So how did you two get interested in this?
You must tell the story.
By sheer chance, I came to Italy for 1 year after university. I thought, let's have a bit of Italian dolce vita. And I was teaching English in a high school in the town of Riva del Garda. And I used to always exchange like a little joke with the history teacher, because I've got a history geography degree. And where Riva del Garda is located, it's on the Italian-Austrian front line. So you have all the trenches still there from the World War One.
World War I, yeah.
And I did a lot of trekking, seen all that. And then one day the history teacher puts on the table, on the teacher's desk, this picture of a duck. And the Italian, he said, there's one of these in Lake Garda. I'm like, excuse me? Lake Garda?
World War
And
II?
it's like, it was obvious it was a World War II thing, but I hadn't heard anything about World War II there, and I was a little bit miffed. It's like, well, what's all this about? And then he type of like explained William O'Darby. It's like, that Renaissance about, isn't he to do with the Rangers? And there was a monument to William O'Darby there, but there was no context to it. There was no information panel. There was nothing in the tourist office. So spontaneously we set up this World War II. Basically, it's a World War II association. We've gone bigger than that now, but mainly looking at the events of World War II that happened in northern Italy, so mainly connected to the 10th Mountain Division because they liberated our town, and also air crashes because of the bombing of the main artery line, which was the railway line going from Verona to Innsbruck.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and Antonella, when did you jump aboard this particular research?
At the same time, because that history teacher, Aldo, became the president of the association, and I am one of the founding members together with Ben and other. In total, I think we were 6 at the beginning. We're not many more now, but still very active. And My point, I remember, I'm Italian, actually, Ben is British, but I am Italian. And even me, I didn't know anything about World War II in my area. I said, really? I knew about World War I. So I said, but what happened to these 25 men? And then Ben told me, well, they're still in the lake. No one knows about them. They are forgotten. That's why Lost Mountaineers. No one, there is a monument for Derby, which is perfect, but there's nothing for these men. And I kept on thinking, when I look at the lake nowadays, you have people, windsurfing, sailing. It's a fun area where we live a lot of tourists. By the way, a lot of German tourists, so how things can change in history.
Sure.
And I thought, well, but we need to do something to remember and honor these men. Without them, what would be Italy? We'll be still under the dictatorship. So we shouldn't forget. And that's why, that's my bit in this story about the men.
Did you set out to produce a documentary or just do research initially? Did you?
The first thing was research, because as Antonella said, there wasn't anything to remember these guys. So with some Americans we know who live in Italy, we decided the first thing was, let's try to make a permanent reminder to these men. So next to the Derby Monument, which is a beautiful obelisk in Torbole, we have another one the other side by this little church, Santa Maria, with the names of the 25 men, which we crowdfunded.
So we started with that monument, and then still trying to find the names.
And then we're still trying to find the names and photos, and many years, more than 10 years of research, even 15 actually, trying to find the names. Trying to find the full names, be really sure before we put the monument. We wanted to know if we're going to do the monument, we want to have the right number of names. That's when we had this problem with the driver not always being included in some of these reports that we read.
Mm-hmm. So do you have all 25 names?
We have all 25 names.
And that took how long? About 15 years?
It took about 15 years. And then I don't know if we mentioned to you about this amphibious craft, which is in Lake Garda, so the largest lake in Italy, very deep lake.
The craft is about almost 1,000 feet down.
It's
exactly.
Because I use meters, so excuse me. So it's 276 meters. It took a long time to find it.
And that happened in 2012?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
were
you involved in the search for it? Was that?
Well, it's another organization called. They are volunteers again.
Yep.
And they Volontari del Garda. They are called the Volunteers of Garda Lake. And in their spare time, again, they're volunteers. It took them 2 years before finding it. And because actually it wasn't where it was supposed to be initially. So it took some time.
We worked with them, giving like the historical information we knew. They went out on the field because at the beginning I think everyone assumed it had gone much closer to the shoreline.
To the shoreline, yeah.
But in the end, from looking at the accounts, I think because of the death of Derby in the afternoon, they were so shocked by this, and there was this type of need to get across quickly, get payback, but try to also at the same time avoid casualties. So they took a very wide berth, so they went way out from the shoreline to go back into Riva. And obviously when they were what happened, the furthest point away from Torbole and away from Riva and the other shores, this motor cut out. And that's when the disaster struck.
And it was a stormy night also.
It was stormy, it was dark, there was still snow in the mountains.
Did the engine failure, was that related to the weather? Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we think, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. So can you set the picture a little bit more broadly? These were part of what initiative and what was happening at that moment, toward the end of the war? What was going on? There were other units involved, I assume.
Well, the 10th Mountain Division, I think, joined in late April the effort. Actually, I think it was when they crossed the Pole River.
Yeah, the 10th Mountain were one of those fast divisions going fast up because they wanted to cut off the Brenner line from the retreating Germans. So they knew the war was going to finish, but they wanted to stop the German resupply.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the names you're bringing up are familiar as roads on Fort Drum now. Ho Valley, Riva Ridge.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how we know those names better than the geographic names.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you're from. Yeah. So the motor conks out. Did the men started jettisoning stuff, right? Throwing everything
it was
overboard.
heavily overloaded as well. That was also one of the problems. There was this issue like, well, the driver was a little bit unhappy at the beginning about the situation. And then it's not quite sure if there was one or two guys were taken off the dock before
leaving.
Before
because
leaving.
The driver complained
because
so
the driver was a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
Because when you see pictures of these ducks in the water, there isn't much, and then you imagine when it's
rough water.
Rough.
Was he an experienced driver?
I mean, they'd use ducks when they crossed the River Po, and they'd use ducks coming up the lake. He was a quartermaster.
He knew his job because we have recount from somebody else assisting, and he was like replying back to the major that was organizing the mission, saying no, there are too many on this, too overloaded. So definitely he knew his job, and he tried to, and in fact he obtained, we don't know if one or two soldiers were taken off before leaving. So
we're in contact with a number of different families connected to this story. One of them is a son of one of the men who was taken off the dock, and he's told us his father has told him, my life was spared when I was taken off that damn dock.
That damn duck.
If that's acceptable language to use.
In this context, certainly is.
And he seemed to say it was if it was two, but in a written account it said it was one. So we weren't sure which to put in the documentary, but it's one or two.
So at the time, in the aftermath, did all of the families receive information about what had happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
The chaplain.
What were they told?
The chaplain wrote letters, and then there would have been another letter, and they would have got the telegram saying that they were first that they were missing in action, and then they got a follow-up communication saying that they died. We've got some of these.
Incredible.
Thanks to our contacts with the families, because we're in contact with about 19 of these 25 families.
I can imagine they're pretty fascinated to hear everything you're doing.
Well, we received two families in Italy, end of May, one, and mid-June, the other one. So two families. One of the two is Dillard, Shane Dillard, and he was the grandson of one of the soldiers in the lake. And he was really, emotional about it. And and even the other, the second cousin.
Paulson,
Elmer Paulson. They were second cousin, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And they came and visited us. And we're going to meet some other families when we are in Madison.
This is going to be an incredible. I'm very excited about Madison, because we're going to be seeing again the family, the Elmer Paulson family, who are cousins. So they're fairly detached from the story. They have a blurred photo of the cousin, but they don't have that much else. Whereas there's two soldiers who died from Wisconsin, and we're having the screening, and all the families, so from the two soldiers are coming to the screening in Madison, and the other family we met, I think, about 10 years ago, when they sent an email to the tourist office in Torbole saying we want to see where our father died.
Brother
And
sister.
the tourist office sent us the email saying there's these Americans sent this email and they want to know where their father died. So we got in contact. I said, well, tell me the name of your father, and we tried to do our best. I can't promise anything. As soon as I saw the name, Frank Miller, that's one of us. You know,
One of the
I've been
men.
looking at these names for so many years. So we organised their visit.
So
And-
Arnie and
Arnie and Joanne.
Joanne Miller came in 2016, and we're gonna meet them again in Madison. So we're
Very nice.
so happy to see them again after all this year. This time we came.
And when they came, I was at the time, because we have the American base of Vicenza, where the airborne are based, we were organising a staff ride. And I reached out to them and I told them, I said, well, we got these Americans, family who are coming. I said, could we try to perhaps organise something on the same day? So they organised the staff ride, the visit of this American family, the son and daughter of Frank Miller, on the same day. They gave them this amazing framed American folded flag, because I don't know if they ever received it, because they were missing in action. The missing in action situation, sometimes I think things with war, people didn't seem to always get. We got contact with some families and they received the Purple Heart, they received the flag. Other families, maybe something didn't quite go right. I'm not quite sure on all the details there. But they said this is like the funeral he never had. And then it was POW-MIA Day.
So it was perfect. Yeah.
So the 10th Mountain Division at that time was not from Fort Drum. Everybody knows that. But you're here on your way to Fort Drum. Is it special for you to be at the current home of the 10th Mountain Division?
It's a great honor, I'd say. Yeah, it's really...
Absolutely, yeah. We've heard so much about it.
Yeah,
and we're very
can't
excited and honoured.
yeah.
And what have you heard from them? I'm sure they're excited to be... who are you showing? The screening is for who? Who are you going to show it to out there?
The soldiers,
To the soldiers.
Where is it at? Where's it taking place at?
I think it's in the... I don't remember exactly in the hall.
Not quite sure on that
Well, you'll
one.
find out when you get there.
Yeah.
At any rate, I know they've got to be extremely excited to be able to see this. Is there any, if I want to, I was poking around, I didn't really see any place on the internet that I could watch it. Is there a place?
There isn't at the moment, because we're still putting it in film festivals.
Okay.
We've been in about 7 or 8. We've won a couple of awards. We've won a Best Documentary, a Best History, Best Film voted by the public. So we're still doing some film, because as we said, we're a non-profit organisation. So the more film festivals we enter, and if we are lucky enough to perhaps win an award, it will help us with our new project, the We've Loved Billy, on Derby, because again, we're crowdfunding it. We have the trailer for that online. So if you go on YouTube, We've Loved Billy, you can see the trailer, and then at the end, there's all the details. With this one, the Lost Mountaineers, we're hoping towards maybe the end of this year to have it on a streaming platform, Amazon or Netflix, or maybe like PBS. We're looking at different ways, because the 10th Mountain, we're in contact with the 10th Mountain family, so to speak. The 10th Mountain descendants have a very strong group online on Facebook, but we want to get it to the wide audience, people who are not just 10th Mountain family. And we feel a platform, and not just putting it out on the internet on a YouTube channel, is going to be the best. But watch this space. We have a website, the Association BNAC website, so you can find details of when it will be available. on there.
And where?
We're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook, so we're more than happy of people sending us an email asking when is it going to be available, and we let people know.
Well, we'll be watching for it for sure. How rewarding has it been for this to come to fruition and you finally provide some recognition to these lost 25 souls?
Well, I think every time I watch the documentary in a screening with other people, I still get moved in some scenes. So I still feel like we've done this for them, and now, like it's also said in the documentary, they are no more alone. Now we all know that they are there. So for me, it's rewarding.
Yeah, I have to pinch myself sometimes. I mean, when I see it and I see the pictures of, there's one scene where there's a soldier putting the pictures of the lost men on his desk, the guy who types the letters. And yeah, it gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to add, either of you?
Well, go and watch our promotional video on our new documentary.
Yeah,
It's,
We've Loved Billy.
And we find that where?
You'll find that on YouTube.
Okay.
Just type in "We'd Love Billy" YouTube, and you'll find it.
And if you like it and you'd like to support it, there's the GoFundMe link on it. Both of these projects being completely funded by support and some money from the 10th Mountain Foundation.
Yeah.
Well, both of you, congratulations on your work. I know a lot of people are deeply grateful. That goes without saying. I can't wait to see it myself. I know a lot of people can't wait either. So okay. Thanks both, and good luck.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for the opportunity.